Good morning. I have a list of things I need to do today, which majority of them are actually in the kitchen. So come along and let's bake today. So it's a Friday morning. We have a lighter homeschool schedule on Friday. Most of it is independent, things like French for the kids. I am gonna go do a little bit of group work with them in a minute, but I have a long list of things I need to do in the kitchen. I've got some sourdough bread started that I need to finish. Need to make buns, need to make pizza dough. Need to get some turkey carcasses and skin going in the roaster to make some turkey broth. Going to make some shortbread cookies with kids. And I feel like there's something else. Oh, I need to get chickpeas going for lunch. So let's get started. You can hear there's lots of noise in my house. It's cleaning chores for the kids. So this sourdough should be near the top of these containers, but because it's colder in my house, especially at night, it hasn't fully risen. So I'm gonna take this down and put it by the wood stove while we do group work. That will help it just to get it active and going. First though, let's see. I need to get these in the roaster and get these cooking. And I need to drain these and get these cooking for lunch. So that's gonna be first. These are the carcasses and the skin left over from Thanksgiving in October. I just froze them and waited till I had a time to deal with them, which was now. Now I'm just adding water. I'm gonna add some bay leaves and I'm gonna show you in a second here. Check out my cute little spice jars. I love them. These are the turkeys that we raised this year ourselves, and so it's kind of been like a start to finish project, which has been pretty awesome to see. Then I'm just getting my chickpeas going there, and then we're gonna head off to do some group work right after this. Shout out here to Monsieur Steve, and I know I'm saying that wrong, but go check out his YouTube channel. It's one that my kids rotate through for their French studies. He has some awesome content on there. So I have my 2 Dutch ovens just sitting by the wood stove as we did group work, and that will get the bread to rise. Then afterwards I started cutting vegetables. I like to try and do things kind of all at once if I can. So I'm cutting vegetables for lunch as well as I'm getting them ready for dinner. We're gonna have pizza. So I actually only have to cut once and I can get everything done at one time. Instead of always overfilling one, I thought I'd try 2, but I may have overfilled them too. We'll see. The recipe for these buns comes from the blog blessthismessplease.com. I make a few small changes, but I've been using this recipe for quite a few years and they always turn out beautifully for me. Now you'll see in a minute here when I put the eggs in, these are actually water glassed eggs that I did this summer. It was an experiment, something new for us, and they turned out great. They are a little bit more watery, the whites, but I've been using them in baking without any issues, so definitely gonna do more of those this summer. I popped down here to check on the bread, and because it's laundry day, we've got laundry hanging here. It's that time of year. Let's see, it's been a couple hours. Oh yeah, it's doing really well, so I think it's time. We could just maybe wait a little longer to get those upstairs for their second rise. I love having a wood stove. It truly is the best thing. The heat is so nice. So I've got the buns are about halfway done rising here. I've got the 2 loaves of sourdough bread rising. Time for a tidy up and a clean up. Luckily, one of the boys does lunch dishes because it's a mess. And then we can move on to the next part. While I wait for those to rise, come and give this cute kitty a little pet who's so warm in the sun. You found the best spot, didn't you, Hershey? You smell stuff on me? No, just want to sleep. Now you do not need to weigh out each bun, but I just find that when they're the same size, they're going to cook more evenly. Now, I don't know if you see the scale there, but I made some mistakes and I had to go back and reweigh some of them. I just wasn't paying enough attention. And funnily enough, I did it a second time as well and had to go back and fix them. So I just go ahead and make them into like these little round balls. Normally I use a smaller pan, but I use this larger size this time. So while these rise, Katie's going to help me make the shortbread dough. And then we'll get the oven on and those will get rising faster once it's a little warmer in here. And then Jacob wants to help press the cookies as well. I'm not going to bother cleaning in between because I'll do that at the end. Okay, so go ahead and put that in. Then
all of it?
Yeah, and then I'll warm up the next bit.
Helpings of
Yep.
it. Ooh.
Put them in carefully.
You can eat it raw, right?
It's sugar. Try hitting it like on the edge here.
There you go.
We'll get it
The
down.
second one.
There you go. Get it all out. Then we need one of these.
One of them?
One of those.
What's this?
Cornstarch.
There's one, right?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you gotta be careful with these, but try that. Alright, wait for
This
you.
way.
Yeah. And just put it on low. On the first knob.
First knob?
Yeah, watch your hand. We'll give that for a minute and then we speed it up after that. I shared these cookie scoops on a recent gift guide and they really are the best. I use them all the time. So I'm just scooping the dough out because it's really hard to handle, and then I'm going to pass this over to the kids and they're going to press the cookies down with a shape on them. They have a little bowl of water there that they're using in between to try and help get them to not stick, but some of them do stick. Then they're going to do a set with sprinkles. I love here watching my my daughter helping my son here in a minute and letting him have a turn. Such a sweet thing to watch. It's so fun to have these memories. And then I do some plain ones after, and I end up rolling them with my hand just because I haven't been able to find anything that flattens them really nicely. And then I'm going to add some chocolate to those afterwards. Somehow I managed to turn the oven off while the buns are in there. I don't know how. So they're still baking. We've got, I'll turn the camera on so you can see these. So these ones have a Santa face on them. These ones have sprinkles, and then these ones we cook plain, and then I'm gonna melt some dark chocolate and put them on top. And that's our shortbread for this year. It's much less than we're used to baking, but it's only for us and one small gift for someone. So the next thing I had forgotten about was these bananas have been in the fridge. I was gonna freeze them, but then I thought I should just make the muffins now and restock the freezer. I have got a headache coming on, so we'll see how much I get done. I'm thinking 2 batches of banana apple bran muffins and then maybe a banana apple oat. We'll see kind of what I end up doing, and once the oven is warm again, how fast it takes to get everything cooked that needs to be cooked in there. These bran muffins, I actually started making them when I was just about to give birth with, I think, my 4th child. They are really good for after you give birth. My midwife, I think it was, suggested them to me, and I've just continued making them. They have bran in them, so they're healthy. They have honey, which you can see me fighting with here, trying to get it out because it's winter and it's cold. But it's a really delicious muffin that we still all really enjoy today. Now these buns, they are finally done, and I'm just gonna put some butter on top and let that kind of melt over it. It gives it that really extra touch of just deliciousness and melted butter on it. So tell me what you guys think. So this is Santa, but when you turn it upside down, I swear it looks like the Grinch, or maybe it's like Abominable Snowman. I just see the Grinch in it. I think that's hilarious. Pull those cookies out. So these buns are done. They, yeah, a few issues there with the oven going off, but some of these will be for dinner tomorrow night. Some will be for dinner later in the week, and then a dinner maybe in a few weeks, so I'll freeze those ones. And we'll have fresh buns with some yummy soup this week. So because it's getting late, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get these muffins ready to go in. I've still got some cookies and the bread is still rising, but I also need to make pizza dough for dinner, and it is after 3. So I think I'm just gonna toss these bananas in the freezer, and at least we'll have a few mornings of muffins ready, and those will just wait for a smoothie or another day when I want to make muffins. So again, I am using that muffin scoop. I really do use it all the time. I am going to try and fill this muffin tin as full as possible, so I put about 1.5 scoops in each. Because we have these for breakfast, I want them to be quite large and I want them to be filling. So I find the easiest way to spread chocolate, like to do kind of just a random design on it, is to put the chocolate chips, I have dark chocolate in here, in a bag. And I'm gonna put some hot water, like boiling almost, in here, and then melt the chocolate that way. And then just kind of move it around. Ooh. Okay. Too much water. You can see it's already melting like super fast. And this way, I can just snip the corner of it, the bag, and like drizzle it without having to do like a double boiler or transfer it or anything. So I'm gonna give that just a minute. I had too much dark chocolate that I melted, so I went ahead and decided just to completely cover some of the cookie tops with chocolate. It was too much chocolate, and that's a lot coming from me. It was definitely too much. So here's how they turned out. That chocolate's still drying, but cute little shortbread cookies. So last thing I need to do here is pizza dough. So I'm gonna get that started with yeast. Here's the dough. I'm gonna leave that to rise for about 45-50 minutes. Let's check on the sourdough. It's getting there. Probably by the time these come out of the oven, this should be ready. So these pizzas will be for lunch tomorrow. And the bread has risen enough to put it in. So I'm gonna give the top a quick slice, which I need my other hand for, and then pop it in the oven. So that's what it looks like going in. I just pulled the bread out, so that is done. That will do 4 to 5 meals for our family. So it should be just over a week's worth for us. Here's what the broth is looking like. I'm gonna let it continue cooking overnight, and then tomorrow I'll strain it, use some for dinner, and process the rest of it, pressure can it. But it sure smells good. That's it, I'm done. The kitchen is closed, I am leaving. Thanks so much for hanging out with me while I worked on different things today. I hope that this video finds you having a great day. Take care.